Talk to Emlyn Williams and Steve Drewson of the Swansea UFO Network.
So is Swansea a hotspot for UFO activity?
I often get asked that. I wouldn't say it's a hotspot, but because it's a centre of population, there's more people to see things, and then for more people to report things. So
before we go any further, let's take a look. Before we have a chat with you, because there's so much to talk about, let's take a look at this intro. So, gentlemen, first of all, thank you so much for coming on the show. Now, this is such a fascinating sort of subject. We could talk about it for hours and hours and hours, but sadly we haven't got hours. But if you could just start by introducing yourself and exactly what it is you do with the, you call it a network, is that right?
That's right, yeah. My name's Steve Drewson. This is my colleague, Emlyn Williams. We've both had a long-standing interest in the subject of UFOs all our lives, I suppose, really, haven't we, Emily? And 2 years ago, we didn't even know each other. But I retired from my work. After 30 years' work, I retired. So I thought I'd take a bit more interest in the subject. So as a result of that, I started to look around to see if there was a local club or organisation that perhaps I could join to further my knowledge on the subject. So I looked at a few, but all of them seemed to have closed down. So the only way forward seemed to be starting our own organisation going.
Okay. So
with that in mind, I started a Facebook page to see what, tentatively to see how many people would be interested in the subject. And the funny part was, virtually, I think it was the following day, Emlyn did exactly the same thing, which was quite coincidental, and he started a Facebook page on the same subject.
Right.
So he saw mine.
Synchronicity, that.
Yeah, he saw mine, contacted me, so we closed both the Facebook pages and started a new one, which we had a meeting and eventually pieced things together and decided to call it Swansea UFO Network. So that's how the organisation came about.
Okay, if I could just read this here. It says, the aim of the Swansea UFO Network is to educate, stimulate, interest and debate the subject of UFOs and its many offshoots. So tell us, I mean, it's become extremely popular, hasn't it? Could you say it's because of the TV programmes which are on today?
Yeah, there's a lot on the Discovery Channel, isn't there?
Yes, yeah. But tell us your side of it from somebody who doesn't perhaps believe, if you want to call it that word.
Well, as I say, the reason why we started it is to meet people, to get people to come forward. And we go interviewing witnesses. It's amazed me how much is going on out there that hasn't been seen the light of day publicly.
Why do you think that is? What's the reason, do you think, behind people not coming forward?
A lot of people are a bit nervous. Well, a lot of witnesses don't tend to report things because they don't want to be ridiculed. They don't want to be sort of labelled a nutter,
Right. Is it still frowned upon then in certain areas, would you say?
It's getting less so, I think, because in the news there's a lot, like this week there's a thing about this, they found a solar system with about 7 planets in the Goldilocks zone, which could support life. So there's a drip feed condition in the population that, to the opening up the idea that there could be life elsewhere.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about that. So NASA have discovered this kind of new solar system, and they all could be Earth-like, is what they're saying. So does that not kind of, when NASA, an organisation like that, kind of giving us facts, does that not kind of go, well, clearly there must be life out there? Is that... I don't know.
I think the general opinion, for the general public's opinion, is what they've been given, which is that the nearest habitable planet to Earth is many, many light years away, and consequently nobody could reach us within a certain period of time. But that's only going by the technology that is available to us at this present time. I mean, 200 years ago, we'd be laughed at if we thought we were sitting in a television studio now transmitting to the public. So I think things have changed. We've had the discovery of black holes, wormholes, interdimensional travel. I think scientists are looking into a lot of other aspects of things now.
And particularly if you look at the age of the universe, it's more than twice the age of our solar system. There's got to be more advanced races out there than what we are.
So
that
tell
have been
us,
going for millions of years.
so tell us, moving on to sort of certain sightings, when was the last reported sighting here, for example, in Swansea?
In Swansea.
You're talking to the right one now, because Emlyn has been a great ambassador for our club, because he's the historian, really. He's the one who does all the sort of...
Well, we collected... We concentrated on the geographical area of South Wales for our study, okay? And we're up over 600 cases now, drawn from a variety of sources, such as books, magazines, newspaper articles from the past, witness testimony, people telling us face-to-face, all sorts of sources. We're up over 600. I think the last one was reported in Swansea sort of last month. I think,
okay.
That we were aware of, you know.
Right.
It's happening all the time.
What are people seeing? Because it's weird. I've got a balcony and I kind of see things, and I'm told, my friends are like, no, that's a weather balloon. No, that's Venus. That's what are people seeing?
I've never seen a weather balloon.
No, well,
no. Do you ever see a weather balloon?
I've never seen one close up.
I don't think the weather balloons exist as a figment of people's imagination.
Okay.
But on that note, I think we've got some pictures here.
Yeah, if you want to talk us through
some
of these sightings, yeah.
Right, this one was from, I think, July 2012, I think. Guy woke up in the early morning, about 4 o'clock in the morning in midsummer, so
that's at May Hill, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, the sun hadn't quite come up yet. I think you can just about see Venus in the distance because it's preceding the sun. And he saw this black object just static in the sky. And it was there for about 20 minutes.
See, I would have then been told if I saw that's a weather balloon, Henry.
Well, he was watching. He was there for a good while. Okay, he went off to do something. He had a young son, I think. He went to see to his son. A few minutes later, he came back and it was gone. And he hadn't moved at all while he was looking at it. He was just static in the sky.
I think there's another one here.
Skeptics were saying it was a bird, but a bird wouldn't sort of stay still, and it didn't even look like a bird.
This one here is over Caswell.
This again was 2012. This is January 2012. A woman was out walking with a group of people at Caswell, and she was just going around randomly taking shots, one after the other, literally, boom, shot. And then it was only after she got home, she was looking through the shots, and there was this red ball in the sky, and he wasn't there in the preceding shot. He wasn't there in the shot afterwards, taken literally seconds afterwards on the same sort of view.
I've got to say, I'm a believer, okay, so I'm totally loving all this. But a lot of people would say, is that a mark on the lens? Is it something which, you know, you could give a number of excuses.
Well, if it was a mark on the lens, it would have been there in all the shots, wouldn't it?
Exactly.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So,
and if it was a balloon floating by, again, it's slow moving. It would be there in all the shots. It's just in that one shot.
That is part of our investigative work, to see if we can discount other theories.
It must be incredibly difficult, though. I
mean, we interviewed a lady in Caswell last year, and she was quite adamant she saw something very, very strange. But after a lot of conversation, we managed to put it down to a Chinese lantern, didn't we?
Possibly a Chinese lantern. In likelihood of it being the Chinese lantern.
So how do people kind of get a hold of you and say, I think I've seen something, I've got a weird image? What do they then do with it to kind of start the conversation with yourselves?
Well, we've got somebody in our group that's pretty good with computers. He can do photographic enhancement. Because quite often somebody will take a shot, like that last one. They'll take a shot and they don't see anything with their naked eye. It was only afterwards they notice something's there. Mm-hmm. And it's just by chance they managed to catch it, you know. We can have a photo enhancement and it brings up what it is.
So, via the Facebook, if anyone has got images...
via Facebook. We've also got a website.
Okay.
What is that? What's your website?
www.sufon, that's SUFON.co.uk.
Great, we'll put that on all our social media for our people. But going back to how this all started, have you found that there's been a rise in a number of reports, not just in Swansea, like you said, but in Wales overall? Do you think that's...
Well, last year... It was very busy last year. We had we had something like 36, getting on for 40 cases last year.
That's right.
The year before was a bit less than that. So it is, whether there's fact there's more people, we get known by more people, so there's more people coming forward.
And also perhaps, like you said, the stigma, and also people not being afraid to come out and talk about it because it is taken seriously.
Well, that's the beauty of our monthly meetings, because we get new people coming all the time who found out about the organisation, and They treat it almost like an AA meeting, if you like. They'll come along and they feel relaxed and they can open up, and perhaps they've kept something with them for many, many years and they're able to open up and tell you exactly what happened to them, and they're not going to be ridiculed, you know. It's a safe haven for them if they like.
Are things like Ancient Aliens on Discovery or History helping people kind of realise, oh, it's not just me, it is a thing that's kind of being documented better now?
Those programmes are watched with people who have an interest in the subject anyway, but that helps. Also, you find that people will see something in the sky or have an experience themselves, and it would start the interest.
That's great.
Gentlemen,
thank you very much. We're going to have you back in.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Fixed. After the break, we're going to meet Swansea University Centenary with his mind on until 2020, Henry. It's going to be
Interesting.
good.